What a fortnight. 2 weeks of witnessed history, pomp and ceremony, a general outpouring of gratitude and grief, such respect for a life of service, for the true icon of our time. And these past 2 weeks have also, though, exposed a real choice, I think a challenge for all of us. In so many ways, the passing of Her Majesty has exposed the dividers and the unifiers in our society, and we've been afforded an opportunity to come together to find the things that we have in common, to reflect on the great and the good. Yet sadly, we've also seen some react poorly, exploiting the death of Her Majesty. They are the grotesque and the gauche, the lacking good grace, the people lacking decency, ugly, uncalled for. They are the repugnant left. You know, most of us have been able to reflect on the example of service and sacrifice in a world increasingly selfish and superficial, yet some in politics and the media, actors, activists and academics, well, they've really exposed themselves as selfish and ignorant. You know, we should never forget their lack of decency and humanity. And for me, you know, my Christian name, well, it's a Welsh derivative. It means spear carrier. My heritage, well, it's Scottish, English, Irish and a bit of Viking. You know, for me, this has been my culture on display, yet watching those who don't necessarily share my cultural DNA, but who wish to subscribe to the values it has developed, has really been a couple of weeks of reassurance of the attraction of our history and traditions. And our Christian values of treating others as we wish to be treated has been on full display as people of so many backgrounds, cultures and religions have all shown respect. We've seen those who seek to build unity amongst us, and we've also seen those who want to divide. I've been enthralled by those who find the common ground, the values, religious and secular alike, which sustain and symbolise our society. But to the few, professionally, perpetually aggrieved, aggressive, angry, anti-everything, they're free to live outside of the societal norms which unite most of us. Yet they noisily demand that we forget our values and traditions and join them in their little world filled with bitterness and resentment. You know, they want us to change, to make them feel better about themselves. And to mine, lefty political, academic and media types seeking to divide us at this time, well, they are themselves a genuine threat to national unity and national purpose at a time we don't need that division. These people are seeking to undermine our way of life, our decency, and as a society of diverse individuals, which is mainly well satisfied that we have much in common and we can and do live in remarkable harmony. You know, at the end of the established centre, or at the established centre of our society, rather, was the example of Her Majesty. Our Australian Constitution creates institutions and processes which carefully determine our evolution as a society. The revolutionary movement, though, they may want catastrophic changes to our nation, but our essential principles and good order, well, it's all in jeopardy if they were to have their way. Our Australian history, our broad collection of cultural traditions needs common ground. That's why the flag's important. You know, all nations of the affluent, attractive West are facing challenges right now. We retain our long-held affluence and attraction if we retain the core threads as we interweave new threads. You know, people have come to our country because we stand for important things, not necessarily evident in most other countries. We weaken our promise and our purpose if we weaken our core principles of freedom, democracy, reward for individual efforts. Yet there are those who wish us to purge our past, purge our values and traditions in order to keep the loudest voices happy. These leftist elites, well, they want to weaken the established order of the West because they want power over us. And this "you'll own nothing but be happy" mantra collectivists espouse, well, it demeans our past. It demeans our way of life. And these things are really important, aren't they? We should reflect upon them. These are the things we should be reflecting upon following the ceremonial farewell of Her late Majesty. She stood for things in her life, and her example serves us, I believe, in death too. May she rest in peace.